Alright, as everybody knows, Titan Iron Finance completely crashed yesterday. Before I start this video, let me say I feel absolutely terrible about all the people that lost money in this. I feel partially responsible because I was also showing how you can make money with that, but I was always telling that it was way too good to be true and it was just very high risk. Nonetheless, I feel absolutely terrible about all of this. So what happened, if you look at this, even on their homepage it says don't buy Titan or Iron, and it went to absolute flat zero. It crashed. The reason for that is I happened to be online yesterday. I checked the Telegram, it was disabled, and I was like, why would the Telegram be disabled? People started selling, panic selling a lot. Turns out there was a technical glitch. The code was exploited, and that meant that people were able to mint indefinite amount of tokens. Not good. As you can see, it went to flat zero. So one of the bigger advocates of DeFi, you might have probably heard, is Mark Cuban. Mark Cuban, the known investor, and he got rug-pulled basically by this very same project. He was actually participating in this one as well, and there's now nothing left on that, and that's really huge. All the news are talking about it, and that's definitely gonna have a huge impact. So not a good time. So now we know what happened. Extremely unfortunate. I feel absolutely terrible. But what does that mean? Does that mean that DeFi is dead? It's not gonna change the future? Have we been all been lied to? Well, no. Honestly, there's crypto is always very risky, but you need to understand that DeFi and this particular token with these APRs and APIs, it was beyond any sort of reasonable risk level. If you remember, I had my first week report a while ago, and I actually assessed the risk level of the tokens and projects that I was participating in. This video, the week one, and here I mumble a little bit about how
these are the returns. I've also
the
made
risk levels are, and I gave Titan Matic 10 out of 10. And remember, this risk assessment was based on that Bitcoin being on 1 out of 10, but in reality crypto is already like a 9 out of 10 volatility risky investment. So this was 10 out of 10 compared to Bitcoin being 1 out of 10. So I was aware of that. Being aware of that, I also followed security measures, that I had a lesser amount of money there, only had money that I could afford to lose. And even the other projects that I'm participating are still very high risk level, but I don't give them a 10 out of 10. So I think it's possible to prevent this. I'm still a believer. I'm an absolute believer. I do still think that DeFi is going to be amazing. I do think it's a huge part how we can actually improve globally with the communities that have destable inflation, Argentina, Cuba, and so on. There are so many people and countries that could benefit from this. Even people, simple people like me, you can probably tell that I'm not a Native American or anything like that. I'm just a guy from Eastern Europe. I'm just trying to make some additional money. And even $10 per day is very impactful for me. So I'm not talking about millions. I'm not talking about buying Lambos. I'm talking about paying your rent and being able to afford food without having to sacrifice most of your day to work that you probably hate or despise. So I do still think the DeFi is gonna be a game breaker, but this particular one, this project, you had to know this was a very high risk project. People were able to make some money out of it for a limited time, and a lot of people lost a lot of money, and I feel absolutely devastated about that. I don't have any further comments on that. I just hope that everybody's gonna recover from this. Thank you for watching, and feel free to unsubscribe.